moving on then, Jake Domanski recommended, kind of in going with us talking about somehow managing to make every episode about Eldritch Horrors on the Buttery Males podcast. Again, just another reason for you to go back and listen to it. We have one thing that we love talking about that, Jake, I think it's safe to say you have a good amount of experience with is H.P. Lovecraft and his work, and you recommended a movie adapted from... Is it the short story also called Dagon, or is it...
The short story is also called Dagon.
So yeah, there you go. The 2001 H.P. Lovecraft adaptation Dagon. So tell us about this movie.
Yeah, it turns out actually, like, even if I'm unaware of the things that I'm liking, like, they probably are just by H.P. Lovecraft. Like, I found that out about another horror movie lately. But
Seinfeld.
Yeah, all based off H.P. Lovecraft short stories. And this movie Dagon it's just about it's about a guy who is successful, and while he's vacationing, just kind of stumbles across a town that, you know, is praying to a deity that, I guess, wealth and prosperity, but there's like there's a price for that, and it seems like the whole town is paying for it. They're like turning into like they're turning to the sea is the best way to describe it. They're becoming like octopus people. And yeah, it's just kind of about this guy's, like, I guess, escapades in this town. He's trying to get out, and yeah, it's just like a whole bunch of crazy shenanigans. And if you are familiar with H.P. Lovecraft, there's a lot of tentacles in this. So it kind of goes in with that whole thing. Yeah, I mean, it's not. I mean, what else to say about it? Does anyone else have like a better version of that?
I mean, I think another big part of it is it plays on his themes. You hear a lot. There's a lot of just lots and lots of common H.P. Lovecraft imagery. At one point in it, when they're praying to the Lord Dagon, you hear them in that prayer say Cthulhu. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of Cthulhu imagery. A big part of H.P. Lovecraft, from what I've understood, even I didn't know that it was this movie going in, or that this was one of those stories, but he definitely has done the fish people thing kind of before, and I've seen a little bit of that in Alan Moore's Providence, where it's kind of talking about that's Alan Moore's kind of weird take on H.P. Lovecraft in his own way. But I saw that, and I had a funny moment before I realized this was a fish person movie, where there's just a scene where he leaves his girlfriend to go save his friends, and he's got to get on a boat. And there's just a moment where they're like, just get on that boat with those two guys. Okay, I'll just hop on here with these two obvious vampires.
These two totally normal gentlemen.
Like, look at these Nosferatus right here. And then it really did take me. It was when I saw the webbed hand on the priest initially, where I was like, oh, no, it's not vampires, it's fish people. Because, dude, when he got the hook through his hand, I was like, dude, clearly the blood is about to make these vampires just jack homeboy on the boat here. But I loved Dagon. Dagon was sick, dude. It was a really wild ride. It starts off a little, it's a little cheesy and a little hokey here as a 2001 movie, but like once I got on board with it, I loved the freaking movie. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, super fun. That's the best way to describe it. Like, I mean, it's just
some
a wild
visuals.
Ride. It's like if Waterworld was like mixed in with the game Bloodborne or something.
Well, and like for me, and I think Brennan, I'm pretty sure Brennan would agree. You picked a movie that is like, the fear of water that I hold, and I think Brennan shares, is just like, is kind of, I liked the movie a lot, but there was a lot of just like, please don't put me in the water. Like, please, let's stay away from the water at all costs. Guys.
That opening scene gave me such anxiety, and then it was just the obvious kind of mermaids. I thought there was going to be some, because the camera is so on his face in that opening scene, like it's like just looking straight at his head, and his head is taking so much of the screen up. I truly thought he was going to like duck down, and you're going to see like a big, monster that was right, like kind of hidden from the audience behind his head. And then instead it's just like kind of the like I don't want to say the obvious, but yeah, it is kind of. I've seen that exact mermaid scare, a couple times.
Yeah.
It still totally got me because the underwater is spooky, is one of my notes, and I also don't fuck with mermaids is another one of my notes.
Well, mermaids are terrifying to me because it's like once I'm in the water, I have nothing to like fight.
That's
against,
not your world anymore.
Exactly. It's like I have a limited amount of time I can even be down in this arena with you, and you can just hold me down here until that time runs out. And it doesn't matter what I do.
The ocean is just like a primal fear. So to make like a horror movie, like kind of based around that, I think you're going to get like good results.
I really, one of the things I found really funny about the movie was like, it's kind of got that dreamlike statement where there's part where it's like, what? Stick together. What are you guys doing? Like separating from each other? Like, what are we all doing here? One of the things that really
haven't you guys seen a horror movie?
Well, yeah, exactly. And one of the things that really stuck out to me is just like truly like so funny to me was like there's so much awful shit going on, and Paul, the main character, does not drop the F-bomb until he sees that his hotel room is shitty.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck. And it's like, I don't know, dude. Your girlfriend's probably dead. Your best friends are out there dead on the rocks. Like, I don't know. Like, it's the hotel room's not the least of your problems.
Did anyone else get like very, very strong Tom Cruise energy vibes off of him? There was a lot of times where I would look away and I would hear him say a line and I'd be like, was that Tom Cruise?
I didn't think about that, but I'm probably going to watch this again this next week, and I'm going to consider that.
Yeah, go back and listen to just a few random lines, and you'll hear it, I think. Like,
Paul's character is only like 4 feet tall, right? that might have been the confusion.
Wait, Jacob, are you talking about the scene where he goes in the hotel room and he's really excited about his love, so he starts jumping up and down?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow, thanks, Brennan.
And then it's more so that like the couch broke because it was so old, and that's when he drops the F-bomb finally. Like, fuck, because he can't jump on it anymore. But yeah,
he can't express his love.
The noises these fish people make are like terrifying. They're like raptor-esque. Is like they remind me of the raptors from Jurassic Park with like that kind of like awful clicking moaning shit. Good.
They're like corrupted like seagulls and like sea lions and stuff.
Like
it's like a
important that take bribes.
Suction cups popping off of like.
An important thing to making like a character, I think now, like a monster, is just like keeping it otherworldly as you possibly can. Because like it's like there's a within like the familiarity of like certain monsters where it's like, well, I've seen vampires a million times, so it's like maybe I'm not as terrified by the classic, movie vampire, but you start adding in some noises that I've never fucking heard a creature make in real life, and you start adding in like gills and shit on a human body. It's okay, so this is taking me at like somewhere like out of my comfort zone, and that's like a bad monster will just destroy a movie like this. And I thought more than anything, like just this was a scary, like an actual scary movie. Probably just the most frightening movie we've picked this month. For a little thing.
I can't imagine any of us. It's a different answer for any of us, but who is our like MVP character of the movie?
I was hoping someone would. I was hoping you would lead us here. I mean, come on, can we all say it at 1, 2, 3? It was the drunkard in town.
It's Ezekiel, dude. Ezekiel rules. He's the man. He's the coolest part. When he does that like face morph flashback, I was like, damn, that's great for 2001. This rocks.
Yeah.
He's a lot of fun. He's just like the best part for me. So his flashback, he was the one that was there who kind of like ends up explaining to Paul what ended up happening with, like these priests coming in, or these, kind of this captain who came in and said, let's make this, let's all pray to this God instead of a Christian God. And this captain then tosses a big version of the pyramid from Yu-Gi-Oh! Into the water. And then they all start getting gold out of it. But yeah, I mean, Ezekiel, that actor is really good. And actually, this was his final film. It was one of those things where it came up at the end, and I was like, no, do not tell me he's dead. But yeah, I mean, of course, it's like he.
It was in his dying wishes that he was skinned. On
like,
film.
I just need somebody to paint red around my eyes with a rubber knife before you peel my face off.
For real though, his flashback was like actually terrifying. Like even though not really, there's not really a lot objectively that scary that happens in the flashback. It's just like the way he describes it in like his sort of broken English and like the visuals and the music that goes with it. It's just there's something horrifying about like being a child in like a small town that's isolated and like everything gets turned upside down and there's like these demons coming out of the ocean and at the same time it's like making your family rich and it's giving you food and all that, but like but at the same time like everyone else around you is being corrupted and it's
cool.
It's a horrifying concept.
My family's good. We're fine over here. Like I don't know what all your problems are, but not mine.
But yeah, sorry, Jake, you were saying.
Well, going off of what you were saying, yeah, it's just like these poor people, like basically so desperate for any help at all. Like in like just overnight, this guy is like, no, like abandon your God. Like we found a God that will help us. Like we must do his work. We must praise him. And then just we're getting gold, but like, oh my God, yeah, now we have to like sacrifice people. Like
totally cool. Totally cool. Give me that gold, baby.
Well, with the gold, there's at one point where Paul, who, there's a stupid plot line in the beginning of the movie about him like having stocks and stuff like that. And his girlfriend tosses his laptop off the water, which is one of those moments where I'm like, I think the relationship's over. I think if I'm in a relationship...
That was a $10,000 laptop for 2001.
But I'm also, it's not even like about the laptop. It's just like, oh, okay. I think if I'm in a relationship with someone who reacts that way about like my very reasonable, a lot of money that could go up and down, whatever. It's a stupid plot line, but he's recently come into a good amount of money. And at one point he tries to offer the fish priest money, and he's like, fool, we have like 1,000 times what you could offer. He offers him like $10 million. He's like, we have like 1,000 times that. And my response to that, if I was Paul, would have been like, then could you make your town not look like dog shit?
Hire one construction crew to just start going around fixing shit.
Like, what incentive? How do you get sacrifices? How do you get the sacrifices if you don't have any tourism? Like, I don't understand.
I would have been much quicker to come into this town. I would have been much quicker to come into this town and get sacrificed if everything was paved with gold. You idiot! You got to rethink your plan here.
If you had a fucking a Hyatt Grand Resort, maybe I would have showed up faster.
I would have gladly sacrificed myself for the all-you-can-eat buffet. I mean, where else can you get shrimp for this cheap?
Oh, the shrimp are their children, though. I mean,
shrimp is so cheap.
I liked the drunkard, but I think her name was like
Macarena.
Lucia. Well, her real name is Macarena Gomez, but I think her name is Lucia in the she's the mermaid in the in it. I was telling Brennan, I mean, half fish woman or not, she can get it at any point in the
Absolutely.
day. I mean,
honestly, it was like I was less turned off by the mermaid tail and the tentacles or whatever. I was like more of those just like, if you weren't so pale, let's get you a tan and then this rocks. Let's do this, Macarena. But yeah,
I do say that as like a joke, but like she really was awesome.
Yeah,
in
she's
this
beautiful,
film.
and she's like really talented.
She's beautiful, but she was super talented. She was. I loved her in this.
Can I just say, Macarena Gomez is the worst fake name I've ever fucking heard.
Is that her fake name?
No. It's just
I'm saying
it sounds like that's why I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to cut this part out. But I genuinely laughed for a second because I thought that Brennan was making a joke. and then when I realized that, oh shit, that's her actual name, I caught myself. But
Ay caramba Estevez.
Well, exactly. I'm just thinking of getting like Facebook friend requests from like, strange profiles that you have one mutual friend with.
I worked with a person named Macarena, so I didn't think it was so crazy.
Macarena Gomez.
I don't know if their last name was Gomez.
Okay, well, that's my point. It's not just about one of the names.
Gomez is unrealistic to you.
Yeah,
it's both of them together.
Oh man,
it's like the pieces of Exodia. It's on its own. It's just useless.
Exodia Gomez.
Exodia Gomez. Exodia Gomez, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, this
Dagon rules.
Yeah, fantastic movie, and it's
very good.
One of those I've said it before, but I really love horror movies that just have a downer ending sometimes. And this one has a really, really good downer ending.
Oh, what do you mean?
I love this one. Yeah. No, he's going to live for eternity.
And live for eternity. Get that money.
And fuck his sister fish.
Yeah.
I will say one part of the movie...
This was a good ending.
The one part of the movie that bothered me is, like, that little kid narcs on him so hard at that one point. I was like, you need to drown that kid in the water right now. You need to dunk his face in the water of that house and kill him. Because he brought a giant Nosferatu tentacle monster out of the water at you.
Yeah, he's fun, but his dad is just so far gone. Like, turned into a fish monster. Yeah, but I hate that kid.
And then when Paul kills his dad, the kid is like, "You asshole," or so like,
"Puta." Should have just let him do what he was gonna do. Kill me? No.
I give
Look, kid,
Dagon...
the kid. There's two possibilities here. Like I kill your dad, or he killed me.
Listen, kid, there's gonna be only two hits: me hitting his face and him hitting the floor. All right.
That was
hitting the floor, and you hitting your pillow tonight, crying about your dead dad.
If I can make one complaint, is that I didn't like that line kept irritating me whenever that kept coming back. Like even down to there's two possibilities.
That came in. Yeah.
Down to like the very end when it's like down to the very end where it's like these two ominous like cavernous doors, and you hear screaming coming from one and not the other, and he's like, okay, there's two possibilities here.
At the end when he scraps them both and he's like, there's either two possibilities here. I either fuck my fish sister or
I burn myself alive.
Burn my face off. How about I do both?
I like to think I like to think that the end gets like slowed down and he does the Sherlock Holmes thing where he's like, there's only two options here. And he goes through them like beat by beat. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I like that. I'm pretty sure his last words of the movie are them all saying like,
"Fuck my sister, dodge, parry."
Yeah. Discombobulate.
Yeah, his last words of the movie I really enjoy because it's just like his like Cthulhu-headed father being like, "Pablo, you are my son," and then his like sister fish wife bride who's just like you know incest me. And and his like I'm pretty sure the last words he says are "I'm Paul Mars," and then he self-immolates.
Oh man.
So yeah, I give Dagon 5 out of 5 Scream movies.
I think we're all in agreement. Really, really, really solid Lovecraft adaptation. I'm surprised I hadn't seen it before. It was really good. So then I guess
it does seem one of those movies that it should have been on TNT all the time.
Yeah,
and just
right?
wasn't.
Yeah. It has a lot of energy of like that one Creepshow
Underworld.
movie. Yeah. Or yeah.
Oh well, I was just thinking like TNT specifically would play blocks of the Underworld movies every fucking day, and it's like you couldn't sneak Dagon in there. Like I don't think all of these like middle-aged like social welfare recipients are going to notice the difference.
I think one big thing for me, and like it's just what I can say about like a lot of art, is that like since I've seen it, not a day gone by since I thought about it.
All right, Brennan, get out of here.
So yeah, if you haven't seen, if you get him, okay. I think we need to get Trump back in here so we can kick Brennan out. Rob,
you're locked in here with me.
So yeah, Dagon, 2001, great horror movie. You can check it out on Tubi for free with ads. You can also rent it on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Vudu, Amazon Prime, and probably
Pornhub.
Vicky probably knows a thing or two about Dagon as well. So definitely watch that one. Fantastic movie.